So hi everyone. I work for Community Land Trust Brussels, and yes, I can indeed introduce a bit our work. So we exist for almost 15 years here in Brussels. Our main goal is to provide affordable housing for low-income families, and we have been doing that mainly through new built multi-unit housing projects in different municipalities, different neighborhoods in Brussels. We do this with the support of the Brussels region, which is our main funder. Yeah, that is basically our main activities. We have now we have some 120 housing units that are occupied, 7 projects in different neighborhoods, also with a strong focus on participation of the residents in the design and management of their housing projects. In Belgium, there are a few other community land trusts. Those who are probably the best developed are the one of the community land trust in Ghent, who just delivered its first housing projects, and in Leuven, where they are also setting up a community land trust, but there are a few others in different stages of development. Now about our renovation project. The basic idea there was that we wanted also to help existing homeowners with the renovation of their home. Are there slides coming up, Ben, or is it just me who doesn't see? Okay,
yes, they're
there
coming.
they are. Okay, thanks. Yeah, you can move to the next one. So Brussels is a city with a lot of homeowners, also people on low income who manage to buy a home. It is a city with very few social housing, but as in many other countries, the government has mainly supported home ownership rather than social rental housing. A lot of these homeowners don't have the means to renovate their home. We have a lot of people who manage to buy a home, but without having the means to do the renovations. And this is something that we know for many years. But now another difficulty is added to that, because in the coming years, all homeowners will have to renovate their home to make it fit the new energy requirements. As you can see on the table here, by 2032, the homes that are the most energy consuming will have to be renovated, and then by 2045 also other homes. So that means that there will be yeah, a lot of investments will have to be made, and there are a lot of people that just don't have the possibility to do that. In Brussels, there is now legislation that says that people who don't manage to obtain these new energy standards will have to pay fines. So they will be punished, in fact, financially. So we believe that this is really threatening a lot of low-income families, especially because there are quite some instruments to help homeowners, like subsidies and social credit loans. But as you probably know, these instruments are very often not accessible for the most vulnerable people for many reasons. For instance, a loan they cannot, they don't have the means to pay back the loan. Also, the subsidy system requires that you obtain minimum standards, otherwise you don't have access to it. And well, people just don't have the money to reach these standards. So we were thinking about a solution to that. Yes, you can go to the next slide, Ben. Because well, there's a really big risk there that the most vulnerable people will become the victim of this so-called renovation wave, which is of course something that that is we support these efforts to renovate the homes, but we were looking for a way to address the problem for the most vulnerable, and a solution to the renovations that we're afraid are coming up. Yes, you can move on. So our idea was to imagine a solution where we would combine, where we would use, in fact, the community land trust model to help these homeowners, because a big financial effort will be needed for these most vulnerable. This effort will have to come in for a big part from the government, at least that is what we think. And then we believe also, if these efforts are so big, that we can also look for ways to increase the impact. And so the idea would be to help the homeowners with the financial support, an important financial support, also by helping them with the renovation, but in the same time, the homeowners would give the land under their homes to the community land trust. So we would combine decarbonization through this financial and technical support for circular renovations with decommodification, as the homeowners then would give the land under their homes to the community land trust. Yes, you can move on, Ben. So yes, this is a representation of how it would work. A homeowner of someone who owns a home that is in very bad condition. If he's eligible for community land trust, he comes to us, and then we make a program for the renovation, and then we can invest in buying the land, and the money that is used to buy the land is then invested in the renovation of the home. You can move to the next slide. Yes, it looks very complicated, but we did look with our lawyers and notaries for the best formula to organize this. I won't go into detail, but the initial idea was, okay, we have a sum of money that we can invest in the renovation. We pay this to the homeowner, and then in return he gives us the land, and then uses the money with our help to renovate the home. That would be the most simple way to organize it. But of course, there are a lot of other elements that we had to take into account. Also, the tax, the tax elements. If we would do that, it would mean that we would pay 2 or 3 times the taxes for selling the land and the home. So now our lawyers came up with another scheme where, in fact, we use a double lease contract. where the homeowners sign an agreement with us, but they keep the ownership of the land, but we get a stake into the ownership. And the day the homeowner wants to sell his home, then he will sell the home to another eligible homeowner at respecting the typical community land trust resale conditions, and we get the land on that well at the same time. So the real transfer of the land only happens once the initial homeowner sells the home to a second homeowner. But again, it's important that in this case, we use exactly the same resale conditions as our other homeowners. That means that there is a cap on the resale price, and all the subsidy that went into it to make the renovation affordable stays kept in the land. Yes, you can move on, Ben. So this is really a pilot project. We are at the very beginning. Our goal is really to integrate this as a new policy instrument for the Brussels region, next to the existing subsidies for homeowners. But we first will have to prove that it works. And the final goal is that we find European funding, because Europe is now writing his climate policy, and we think that this program, or this kind of program, should find a place in the European and Brussels policy. So we have had some funding that makes it possible to do 2 pilots, and the first one is this one. This is a small apartment in what used to be a single family home, but has been divided into 3 apartments, as is the case in a lot of Brussels homes. And the homeowner, Rudolf, reached out to us, asked for our help. And in this case, we won't need a building permit. We have done the evaluation, and we are now ready to start the renovation soon. There is a few issues that we have to resolve, because one of the other homeowners is planning to sell his apartment, and so, as you can imagine, to do this, a lot of the renovation concerns also the whole of the home. So we had to find a solution to that, but today we are ready to start the renovation of these apartments. And then the next one is this is Yolande, who owns the whole home in the neighborhood of Saint-Gilles, for those who know Brussels. She owned it for a very long time. Her children have left the home. She lost her job, and she isn't able to invest in the renovation. So what we will do in this case, because it's a bigger home, it will cost a lot of money, and the subsidy we received won't be enough to do the whole renovation. So she will sell part of the home. So we need to separate the ownership, which also asks for a building permit. So in this case, we are waiting for the building permit, and then we will be able to start the renovation of the home. Yes, you can continue. So we, as Pierre said in the introduction, we teamed up with other community land trusts who had similar plans. And so 2 French Organismes de Foncier Solidaire, which is type of organization that is very close to community land trusts. And then the community land trust in Ghent, which I mentioned, and the one in Cork, are all working on similar projects. Not all identical. For instance, in Rennes, they are more focusing on apartments within bigger apartment buildings in bad shape. In Cork, they are looking into vacant properties. In Ghent, they are now targeting a property that was where there was fire damage, and that they will start to renovate soon. So different typologies, but in all these cases, the same principle: the investment that is needed to bring the homes up to standard is also used to decommodify the home and to guarantee that it stays affordable forever. And so we think that this big challenge that is ahead of us of the energy renovation could also be a possibility to create more affordable housing in one single movement, let's say. And this is important for many reasons. First of all, because we think it's a way to protect the most vulnerable against green gentrification. But it's also a way of producing more affordable housing in a context where it becomes in our cities more and more difficult to build new housing. So yeah, that's what I had to say about our project in Brussels.